Well, it's just a great opportunity to recognise young sung heroes of the industry. And it depends upon the sorts of people we're honouring tonight, and that's what's important about it.
It's humbling, that I was voted, to win this award tonight. I'm pretty flabbergasted, to be honest. I didn't think I'd win, but I'm over the moon, to be honest.
I think just the whole awards themselves, it's fantastic to see so many unsung heroes of our sport that make it all happen from day to day be appreciated and awarded.
I think Godolphin have been at the forefront of this, and it's a great initiative, and it's a thing that I hope continues to grow.
It's just wonderful, and thank you Godolphin, thank you Thoroughbred Breeders Australia. I'm going to cry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Godolphin Stud and Stable Staff Awards for 2018. Great to have you all here at Morphettville with such a big weekend of racing ahead. We'd also like to welcome our people on social media, the website as well, who are tuning in tonight, and hopefully you do enjoy tonight's coverage. As I said, it is an amazing night tonight that we all are here for. We do get to acknowledge the people behind the scenes, the ones that make this industry go around and round, and aren't always the ones with the limelight or the camera going around, but as we said, they are vital. There's been over 300 nominations for this awards, or for the awards as well, throughout the night, so it does show you the amount of people that are doing amazing things and being recognised by their bosses and other people in the industry that are involved with them. So great to have so many nominations from all around Australia as well. I'm Adam McGrath. It's great to be your MC tonight. I'm with Racing.com here in South Australia, and lovely to see so many familiar faces and new faces as well from around Australia for these awards. I'd like to get straight into it by welcoming CEO of Thoroughbred Breeders, I've gone wrong there, TRSA, Deputy Chair Simon Ward's actually going to come up first. He's going to introduce the night. So Simon, please come forward.
Thanks, Adam. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2018 Godolphin Awards for Stud and Stable Staff. A special welcome to all of those of you who have come from interstate. It's a distance to come, and we appreciate you having taken the time to do that. While you're here, we hope you get to enjoy some of the delights that South Australia can offer you, particularly tomorrow with the start of our Festival of Racing series. The $1 million sanctioned stakes is on tomorrow, plus a really good card of a program of races. So if you can get the time to stay around to attend that, that would be terrific, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. We're pleased that Barry O'Farrell, who's the Chief Executive of Racing Australia, has joined us tonight, as well as Vin Cox of Godolphin, the CEO for Australia, and Basil Nolan, who's President of the Thoroughbred Breeders of Australia. Welcome to all of those guests. This is the fourth annual presentation of these awards, and Thoroughbred Racing SA is very proud to be hosting them this year. These awards, as have already been said, you've seen on the video, and Adam's already alluded to this, but these awards recognise the hard work and dedication of those involved in the perhaps less glamorous parts of the racing industry, but whose work is absolutely essential for the proper running of our racing industry in Australia. They do the hard work, often at very unsociable hours, back-breaking, difficult. But I think you'll find as you hear about the awards tonight, the defining characteristic of people who do these jobs is their love of the horse, their dedication to the well-being of a horse, their respect for the horse. And that is, after all, what our industry is about, the horse. We acknowledge the contribution to the awards by Godolphin. I understand they have similar awards in Ireland, the UK, and the US and France, and that demonstrates the dedication they have and the appreciation they have of stable and stud staff. I also acknowledge that Racing Australia and Thoroughbred Breeders Australia also contribute to these awards, and we thank them for that. Final thank you to the judging panel. It's been chaired by our esteemed Chairman of Stewards, Johan Petzer, so you can be assured it was done impeccably and with great thoroughness. Johan brings that to all his work. So congratulations on behalf of Thoroughbred Racing SA to all the winners tonight, and we hope you enjoyed the evening. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Simon. And as you said, if you are able to stay around for the racing tomorrow, it should be a great day out there. I've spoken to a few people here who do have runners in there or owners as well, and even Claire's obviously in the room. She'll be having a big day as well, so it should be fantastic to showcase South Australian racing, and really looking forward to that as well. I'll go on to the next bit. I did get ahead of myself a little bit, so I'll welcome the CEO of Thoroughbred Breeders Australia, Tom Riley, to come forward.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me real pleasure to be here tonight on behalf of the Breeders Association. There are many awards in racing and in breeding, and personally I think these are the most significant. You have the Horse of the Year, and well, for the last 3 years that's been Winks in a canter. You've got the 2-year-old Champion of the Year, and that's probably really of interest to a few stud farms. But when I look around the room tonight, I see so much of what is excellent in our industry. The love of the horse, the commitment to doing a job and doing it so well that you leave no stone unturned. Whether you're working with the horses, or whether you're in administration, and you're a vital cog in a really huge logistical operation. We've also got the Newcomer Award for people who've been in the industry for 3 years or less. So I'd like to congratulate both Meg and Jerem for their achievement in such a short period of time. I hope tonight that you both feel inspired by some of the other finalists. I hope he doesn't mind, but I think Peter Keating is our oldest finalist tonight. And I'm reliably informed by his son Shane that he started work in the industry when he was 12 years old, and he's now in his mid-70s. So 7 decades of effort. Of course, these awards would not be possible without the very generous support of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum and his Godolphin operation. They provide the very generous prizes that our finalists will all receive tonight. And also make a significant contribution into the logistical organisation of tonight and all the process that goes up to it in terms of people making nominations. The panel of judges as well, many of whom are here tonight, I know take their job very, very seriously, and there's some very considered deliberation that goes into choosing who will be the winners this evening. Of course, I'd also like to recognise Racing Australia, who are our partners in the award, and Barry O'Farrell's here tonight. And they put a huge amount of effort in as well to getting these awards to the stage they are, so we can all be in a venue like this tonight and celebrating the efforts of all the staff who are here. Finally, I should say that really, this is all about the finalists. This is your night. Congratulations to you. To be here, to be acknowledged by your peers, to be acknowledged by your bosses is an amazing achievement. So whether you win or not tonight, have a great night, enjoy yourself. I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you, Tom. Well, we'll get straight into this, and we will start by taking a look at some of the awards. And the first is the Horsemanship Award, and this is nominated for an award to an individual staff member who has shown talent for horsemanship, consistency and reliability in or out of the saddle. Must include an affinity with the horses, gives a priority to animal welfare, must demonstrate a degree of success with the horse and the thoroughbred, whether it is in breeding or racing or both, that has been born out of their particular skill set. We do have the 2 finalists tonight, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Scott and Warren.
name's Scott Bills. I am the breaking-in supervisor at Godolphin, and my job is to get all Sheikh Mohammed's horses educated and ready to race. What makes me get up in the morning? It's it's basic love of horses. It's part of my life and always will be. It's the challenge every day of having different horses to educate, different staff to communicate with and teach, and just seeing the results not only for us, we're just a small stepping stone in the whole river, but all of Godolphin. And it's a great honour to be part of Sheikh Mohammed's dream to be the biggest and the best, and hopefully we have some physical part in doing that.
Scott's affinity with horses is very, very strong. His relationship with his animals, I think, is very important to him. He sees them as a sort of work in progress, a constant work in progress. When you talk to Scott about horses that he's dealt with over the past 10 years, he can remember each one and every foible and every little thing that a horse will do. So he really treats them with an individual respect.
When we do come across any issues, sometimes you actually have to try and think what that horse is thinking, which is as hard as it is to do. I've laid awake for many nights trying to think different ways around getting a horse to, whether it be an issue with swimming or going in the barriers or going in the wash bay. You have to think that they're just like little kids, and every little kid has a different temper, a different tolerance to pressure, and that's the way we have to handle them, and they are all treated as individuals. Our breaking process we've refined over the years. The days of breaking the old way for us are long gone. Ours is all very contained, and the greatest thing the greatest asset for me at Godolphin is every year there's absolutely no pressure, regardless of that horse's value, to have it in, and having that confidence in me, knowing that the horse is going to be there when it's ready, is that's very rewarding. There is always pressure in the back of your mind, knowing how these horses are bred, what their older relatives have done on the track, so and us wanting them to succeed. We really want them to get there as early as possible.
Scott's influence on Godolphin's success has been very strong. So all the horses that we see come out of the Godolphin racing system have at some stage been guided in their early life by Scott.
A horse will also have to trust you. You cannot force any horse to do what you want if it doesn't want to do it. That's how we go about all our business here at Godolphin. It's all minimal pressure and a lot of release. So that horse gets to do what it wants to do, not knowing that you want it to do it as well.
Hi, I'm Warren Sutton, and I've been working for McAvoy Mitchell Racing for the last 5 years here at Godolphin Farm on the Murray River as head breaker. What I love the most about my job is educating these little babies, these yearlings, to bring them and mould them into racehorses. They've all got their different characteristics. We start off by the desensitisation stages. There's a lot of pulling techniques of pressure release, and then we do a lot of desensitisation with flags and balls and stepping on tarps and up on platforms and over logs and things. We're setting them up for success by putting them through this desensitisation program. They get a lot of leading off the pony. The pony must do his job. He's the muscle man and the safety with these horses, and it takes away all the angst and nervousness and tightness of these babies. Together they go out in groups of 3 or 4, and then we start our track work phase where we sit over their necks and we ask for more contact, and we just want to create this confident horse. The best thing about my job is watching these youngsters come through and be successful as racehorses. So we do put things in place to make them the platform of success to shine through. And the latest one that we've had something to do with is Sunlight, who won the Magic Millions and ran a place in the Slipper. Maktoum Mutual Racing have been great for me, and I thoroughly enjoy working for them. I've been working alongside and for Tony for nearly the last 28 years, so it's a long time. We've got a great friendship, and I'm really appreciative of them to nominate me for this award.
So congratulations to both our finalists there, and we've just learned a little bit more about Scott and Warren. And to make this presentation, Melissa Weatherly, who's been up here waiting eagerly, can now come forward and do it.
I'm very excited to announce the award winner. The winner of the Godolphin Stud and Stable Staff Award for Horsemanship no more travelling around Australia. It's Scott Eales from Godolphin.
Scott, we'll get you to come forward, mate. You don't get away that. You definitely don't get away that easy on tonight. Nice try, though. Yeah. Firstly, congratulations on the award. Almost like the horse whisperer, aren't you, really, when you're doing a job like this? So it's sort of the hands-on horse whisperer that somehow gets the horses to do exactly what they want at these early stages.
Yeah, it's just one thing that, you know, I've always loved doing it, and I think whether I had $1 million or none, it's what I'd still be doing. And I'd just like to say, like, this is my 4th year as a finalist, and to be in that category every year is just fantastic. I'd like to thank Racing Australia, Thoroughbred Breeders Association, Sheikh Mohammed, all my staff at home. Without them, there's no way in the world I'd be here. You know, this is a reflection of their work as well. Warren Sutton, who I worked with many years ago, it's great to see him here, and I'm sure he'll be back again next year. Barley Ward Thomas, thank you for putting me up every year, nomination. And I'd like to wish Lee Purchase the best of luck as well. We've been around the block a few times together, so yeah, but it's a fantastic job. I've pretty much done it all my life, and it's just a great thing to do for Sheikh Mohammed.
Well, as you said, it's been well deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, our winner, Scott Eales. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Consistency there is certainly paying off. The next award that we're going to do is the Administration Award. Now, this is an award to an individual staff member who works in administration role or on a stud or in racing yard or services, and to racing or breeding, such as club administration and staff, stud or stable administration staff, farm garden and maintenance staff. You must demonstrate exceptional skills, loyalty, or some achievement that has added value to their employees' business and directly or indirectly to industry standards. Our 2 finalists tonight are Hannah and Michelle, and we'll learn a little bit more about them now.
My name's Hannah Dick, and I'm the Stud Secretary at Widden Stud. I've worked in quite a few aspects of a stud farm, from yearling prep to foaling down mares, and coming into the office that was a really good head start in understanding what was required from an office side of things, as well as what the outside staff need from a job role like mine.
Hannah's a huge asset for us, a real key person in that office role, handling all logistics around the bookings to the very busy stallions, and just a very popular person with not only the people on our farm, but everyone else in all the other farms around the Hunter.
Throughout the year, my job entails looking after the administration for the mares and young stock on farm, as well as keeping records up to date with the Australian Stud Book. Throughout the breeding season, my main role is looking after the stallion book, which last year our stallions covered in excess of 1,000 mares. So that's a really challenging role for any stud secretary. It involves liaising with a lot of stud masters at any one time, and also dealing with other stud secretaries of stallion farms, organising our walkouts to get out as well.
There is a lot of pressure in the season, you know, to get the mares covered the right spot just before they ovulate. So with the busy stallions, you know, there's lots of pressure, and Hannah handles that beautifully. And although during the season everyone's sort of feeling the pressure, Hannah does it with a smile on her face, and I think everyone who deals with her really appreciates the work she does and how accommodating she is.
I have a small case of OCD, which I think helps a lot in this role, helping to get everything organised and sort of put where it needs to be to help everyone that needs the things from me. So I think that does help a lot.
On a busy farm, there's a lot happening outside, and if it doesn't translate and the communication isn't very clear from the busy outside guys into the office, then it's a real stumbling block.
What I love about my job is the passion that everyone that I deal with brings when I speak to them. Everything coming from a positive pregnancy scan to a foal getting on the ground to a yearling getting to a breaker and onto the track and winning races. There's a lot to love about the industry, and my job really covers a lot of those areas.
Although you'd say she hasn't had you know, this great experience, she's just brought a lot of energy and she's vibrant. She's brought her skills from other businesses into the horse business, and she's a very fitting finalist.
To be nominated was very humbling, to feel that appreciation from your workplace, and to get the phone call to say I was a finalist was quite unbelievable, really. It is quite an achievement, and I'm very, very proud to be a finalist.
Hi, I'm Michelle Nichols. I'm the Stud Secretary here at Arrowfield Stud, Scone in the Hunter Valley. Since completing a rural business admin course when I first left school, I've been lucky enough to work in stud offices. I've worked in Widden, Sedgemoor and Arrowfield, which has taken up all of my working life, really.
Michelle's a much loved and vital cog in the whole Arrowfield organisation. Apart from all the administrative duties that she performs, she's a mother hen to all the young staff, both in the office and on the farm, and I don't think we could do without her.
My day-to-day job varies depending on the time of the year. During the winter months, we are starting doing all the bookings for the mares for the forthcoming season and all the organisation. And then as we roll into late July and August, the foals start arriving. So there's all advising the owners of the foals and everything that's happening on the farm. And then once we start covering, it's very busy then organising all the service slots. It's very busy, most people booking by phone or even more by email these days. And then towards the end of the season, we're getting ready for the yearling sales, we're chasing up results, and then we get on to the invoicing of the service fees and getting everything finalised on the stallion books. It's like a big wheel, it's revolving and it's always very exciting. I think my greatest strengths in this role is getting all the breeding barn organised during the cover times. It's very busy, it's 7 days a week. It can be very stressful at times. Things have to happen by a certain time, and we have to try and keep everyone happy. That's the staff, that's the people bringing the mares, that's the owners, that's everyone.
Well, the great thing about Michelle is that she sort of brings a sense of calm and cool to what's a very stressful job, particularly during the season. One of the great things that she does is she manages to get all the mares booked into the stallions when the stud masters want. It's a really difficult job, and she seems to do it and keep everybody happy, which is an extraordinary effort.
What I like about my job is that we work in a really nice spot in the Hunter Valley. We're out of town, there's no stressful commute to work or anything like that. I walk 2 minutes up the road, but I like all the people that I work with. I like the excitement of the horses, I like the excitement of the sales, the excitement of the stallions arriving, the staff arriving, and everything generally going on the farm. It's quite a privilege to be a finalist in these awards. I'm sure people in the industry really appreciate being recognised. There's a lot of people in the industry that work behind the scenes, so I think this is a great way for them to be recognised.
To present the award of the Administration Award, I'd like to welcome forward Johan Petzer.
Thank you, Adam. I'm pleased to announce that the winner
for the Godolphin Stud and Stable Staff Award in the category Administration and Ancillary Services for 2018 is Hannah Dick of Wooden Stud.
Hannah, I'm glad you brought up OCD because that's exactly where I was going to start. So what do we use? We colour-coded? Are we different systems? Because when you're dealing with stallions serving over 1,000 mares, there's got to be an amazing system behind it.
It's pretty much everything. It's colours to categories to you name it. I probably have a system for it. A lot of people don't understand it, they don't touch it, they don't come near it, and it all works.
Are you allowed to have any sick days?
Yeah, it's pretty good. The OCD helps with healthy living, so there's not many of those, which is good.
I'm sure there's plenty of people you'd like to thank even in the room tonight, so I'll let you do that.
Very much so. I'd like to thank, obviously, Godolphin for holding the awards, obviously the Thompson family and Widden Stud. My partner Matthew, who also works at Widden Stud, who has been a great supporter of mine and helps me on those tough days, especially during the season. To be nominated was fantastic. To become a finalist was life-changing, and I didn't think for a second I'd be at the spot, so I'm very grateful.
Well done, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Hannah Dick. The next award that we're going to do is our Leadership Award. Now, this is an award to an individual staff member in a managerial or supervisory role in a stud or stable who has displayed leadership qualities, in particular in terms of quality people management, mentoring, support of staff, attention to workplace health and safety, commitment to continuous improvement, and displaying good business attributes throughout their work. Our two finalists are Jade and Peter, and we'll learn a little bit more now.
I'm Jade Rosington and I've been at Willow Park Stud for 12 years. I'm the stud manager now. I've been in that position for about 6 or 7 years. It's great. I love the small environment. We're 600 acres. We have, we run sort of 60 to 80 broodmares. I like those numbers. I don't think I would like them too much more. We have a great team of staff as well. That makes my job very easy. All the girls and the guys that work here are very helpful and yeah, they're good. There would be, I think there's 6 full-time staff as well as a couple casuals. The girls sort of do most of the horse work and the boys help us out obviously when we need it, and the gardening, so we sort of pitch in and do a bit of everything that needs to be done.
She leads by example. Jade's the type of person that'll get in there, boots and all, and get things happening, and the other staff see that in her. And I think that's a wonderful trait as well. There's nothing that Jade wouldn't do.
The important things with leadership is being organised. That's a huge help to getting everything done that needs to be done, and that keeps your staff happy too. They know what they're doing and what they need to do, and there's no standing around going, what are we doing kind of thing. And just being happy and keeping your staff happy as well. Like if they're not happy, they're obviously not going to stay in their position. A lot of the guys that are working here have been here for several years.
She's fantastic with the staff. Well, she's the type of person that she would not have an enemy in the world, which is a pretty rare commodity. And she's so easygoing and respectful of the staff and appreciative of the staff. I think they're two magic qualities. And she's got patience and she's so passionate about the whole thing, and if the whole team are able to pull their weight and work together, the job just doesn't seem anywhere near as onerous then.
Oh, they're just a great animal. Like, you know, if you're kind to them and I guess understand them, then I think it's very easy. You develop a great bond kind of thing with them. I think my favourite would have to be Samantha Miss. We sold her as a yearling for 1.5 million. That was very exciting at the time. And then I followed her racing career, and she obviously went on to be a very successful racehorse. I went down and watched her run third in the Cox Plate, which was very exciting, and then she went on and won the Oaks, which was great. Yeah, it was a big thrill.
To be honest, Willow Park wouldn't be Willow Park without Jade.
I guess a dream of mine was always to manage a stud when I got older. I never thought I'd be doing it. Here I am.
Hi, I'm Peter Keating, and I'm the stallion manager at Newgate Farm. My background in the thoroughbred industry started when I was a very young man with my grandfather, who was one of the great trainers in New Zealand. I then ventured into the breeding side of the thoroughbred business, and at the age of 25, I was employed by one of the wealthiest men in the world, Mr. Nelson Bunker Hunt, and I set up the Waikato stud in New Zealand. I was asked by Mr. John Massara to manage Arrowfield, which I did for a number of years, and manage Redouts when he stood at 330,000. After a short retirement, Henry Fields never stopped annoying me and asked me would I please come and manage his stallion operation at his new farm at Newgate. And here I am.
It means so much to have Pete around, because a man of his experience, no one's seen it all, but he's seen as close to what you can see in the horse business. So the depth of knowledge he has is invaluable to all of us. You happy with that, Peter?
Yeah, that looks pretty good. My day-to-day job entails the management of 13 or 14 thoroughbred stallions. It is my job to keep them healthy and well and fit for the breeding season. We breed big numbers of mares to our horses, and it is essential that these horses are healthy and well all the time, and also to train the staff to follow me in the future. My greatest strengths, I believe, are able to train young people and give them responsibility very early in their careers. I have trained some of the very good people, like Pat Downs, who now manages the Aga Khan studs in Ireland. I have had Sam Fairgrave, who was with me for years. I've had Nigel Jones, who's Newgate's stud manager, and I've had a lot of success with a lot of young people and really enjoy teaching them. What I love about my job is it's not a job. This has been my life.
We're proud for him because he's given his whole life to the industry and especially the betterment of young people and mentoring them. So for him to get recognition, geez, it makes us all really happy.
I have spent a lifetime in this industry, and to be recognised for some of the small things I've done gives me great joy.
To present this Leadership Award, I'd like to welcome forward Peter Heagney.
It gives me great pleasure this evening to announce the winner of the Godolphin Stud and Stable Staff Award for the leadership category is Peter Keating.
Peter, taking a look at that, there was no way you were going to stay in retirement for long, were you?
No, not with Henry ringing.
Tell us about your role. You get the best of both worlds, don't you? Not only dealing with the animal, but as you said, they're passing on your talents to people coming through that love exactly what you do.
Yes, we have a different look at this industry with Henry's guidance. Henry wants to get there at 100 miles an hour, and he's doing pretty well. But we breed big numbers of mares to these horses, and we have a lot of young staff from overseas and in Australia that come to work for us. And to see those people get better as the season goes by gives me great joy. And the thing I love about, I'd love to try the Melbourne Cup winner, but you can't get a result in 14 days, and I can get that in the breeding shed.
Tell us about as well the aspect, and you mentioned it there as well, and I think a lot of people in the room would feel the same, that your job doesn't feel like work. It's your passion, it's what you want to get up and do every day.
It's never been work. My grandfather taught me from a very early age that if you loved it, it was real rewarding. And as my son let out that I'd started work at 12, health and safety wouldn't let you do that today. I absolutely loved every aspect and every moment I've spent in this industry. It's been a joy. And I must thank Godolphin, Australian Racing, and Australian breeders for sponsoring this. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Keating.
Thank you.
The next award that we're going to take a look at now is the Dedication to Racing Award. Now, this award is an award to an individual staff member who has shown talent for horsemanship in the racing field and consistency and reliability in a racing role. Must have at least 5 years' service in the racing industry and must have been pivotal in his or her employee's success. Our two finalists tonight are Steve and Joe.
I've been with Anthony and Lee before he went to Singapore for 15 years. We were down at Maktoum when I started with 100 horses in work. And then obviously we've come up to Flemington 5 or 6 years ago, and I've run the stable up here for Anthony, been his assistant. So obviously my job's to be Anthony's eyes and ears. While he's not here, I'm his feedback. So basically looking after the 15 horses up here, movements, races, everything involved with the day-to-day running of the stable basically. Family had nothing to do with horses. One of my best mates at school, who now trains up at the Gold Coast, his grandparents owned racehorses, so we'd go to the races every Saturday. Went to uni, did agriculture and majored in equine studies and just worked at stables. And I worked for Anthony Cummings, then Bart Cummings, then moved to Warwick Farm and worked for Guy Walter. And then I saw a program about Markdale on TV and thought, looks nice, might give it a go, and yeah, been there ever since. Down at Markdale, obviously, we had Mackay Diva. I can remember Alingi used to be in the box next to her, and then Special Harmony, then Mummify. Lost some great horses to work with. Obviously, been through the stable, but obviously the one that I've worked with that was the best was Mackay Diva, yeah. Obviously, it's an honour to be nominated, and it's just, it's pleasing to be down to the last two. They'd win, lose or draw. It's great to just be recognised in the industry. It's a great initiative for the stable and stud staff. Obviously, there's high-profile jockeys, trainers, and owners in this industry, but there's also the people that get the horses to the races and make the industry happen. So it's great that there's some sort of recognition for those people. I love working in the industry. I get a thrill when the horses win, especially like I said earlier, there's some horses are harder than others. They take a bit more time. So yeah, just that feeling of the enjoyment of getting a win, the people you meet, the friendships you make, and Anthony's been great to me, and I'm happy to do it for another 20 years.
I've been with Malure Racing probably going on about 4 years now. And basically I've done a full circle. When I was a little kid, I used to be a strapper and track rider and jockey and all that, and now I help the kids and I saddle up the horses of the morning. Back in the early 60s, there was horses in every backyard, and the trainers used to walk their horses around the streets and give their horses a pick on the nature strip. And I walked out the front, and I think I was about 8 years old, and I saw this magnificent animal. I didn't even know what it was. The trainer was giving the horse a pick, and I walked up to him. I said, "What's that, mister?" He said, "It's a horse." I said, "What do you do with it?" And he said, "It's a racehorse." I followed him back to the stables, and from then on, I don't know what it was. I just fell in love with racehorses, and I've been doing it for over 50 years, and haven't regretted one day. I started off mucking out boxes, and in them days we used to take 30 horses to the track, just 10 of us. We used to ride one and lead one each side. It was a lot of fun. It was different. You didn't wear skull caps in them days, and it was a great time and a great era. I was with Bart Cummings for 34 years, and I honestly thought that I'd probably be there for probably 6 months, maximum, and I ended up having a wonderful 34 years. The last 5 Melbourne Cup winners, Let's Elope, Saintly, Rogan Josh, Viewed, Kingston Rule. I was fortunate enough to ride them in all their work. I think what Godolphin is doing is absolutely sensational. All these people that do so much for the industry and never ever get recognised, it just gives a bit of recognition to the hard-working people at the bottom of the run, and they do all the work. There's a lot of hard work, there's ups and downs, but just being around the horses, it's hard to explain. Once you've got them in your blood, you can never get them out of your blood. And I just love the excitement, going to the races and seeing the horses build up, and they all get looked after. And no, it's a beautiful thing. It's a great industry. I love it, and I wouldn't change a thing.
To present the award of dedication to racing, I'd like to welcome forward Troy Corsons.
Thanks, Adam. The winner of the Godolphin Stud and Stable Staff Awards Dedication to Racing Award for 2018 goes to Joel Grester.
Joe, you mentioned about how the times have changed. You'd be an occ health and safety nightmare at the moment, but the one thing that hasn't changed clearly is your love for the industry.
No, look, as I said, I wouldn't change a thing. I've been in racing since I was 8 years old, virtually. 66 years old now, and look, I've loved every second of it. And look, I don't know, it's just something about the thoroughbred that just gets in your blood, and it just never leaves you.
You mentioned in that video piece that we saw working for Bart Cummings, so you've ridden more Melbourne Cup winners than most of the jockeys going around themselves at the moment.
Yeah, but I didn't make the money though.
Tell us about some of those experiences and what you learnt in that time as well. As you mentioned, you thought you'd only be there for 6 months, and what a career you ended up having.
Yeah, well look, it was only just a fluke that I started with Bart, and look, I've really got to thank people like Leon Corsons, who was the foreman at the time, and even later on Reggie Fleming, who was foreman for Bart. They just trusted my judgment and just trusted what I did. And as people would know, like the lower run of us, it just makes you feel good. And I really appreciated that. And yeah, and as I said, what Godolphin is doing is absolutely sensational. As I stand here, I've been lobbying for stable staff and track riders and ground staff to be recognised, and I never ever thought that I'd be standing here receiving this. And believe me, this is not for me, this is for all the working people in Australia.
Well, it's well deserved and well said. Ladies and gentlemen, a hand together for Joe Aggressor. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have dinner served in that time. The band will be playing as well, so sit back, relax, and there's plenty more coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying your main course at the moment. So we're going to move on with the next part of the night, but continue eating and enjoy it. And I think you'll really like this next piece that we are going to do. Since social media does rule the world these days as well, if you are taking any pictures, or if you've got any comments on the night as well, and you are on Twitter, you can use the hashtag AUGSSA as well. So that's on the Godolphin Twitter page as well, if you are wanting to be involved with social media. Gives me great pleasure to welcome up our next guest, a lady that is well known in this room and in racing, not only in South Australia but in Australia as well, and it's Claire Lindop. For those that have been following racing recently, we have heard that this is Claire's final Adelaide Carnival, and she went out with a, well, hasn't gone out completely yet, but went out with a bang last week, winning a Group 3, 23rd group race that you've had success in.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, I think it's... I had a great racing season last season. I worked closely with Liam McDonald and Andrew Lewis here, and I've probably been their stable rider for just over 10 years, and winning the premiership with them was fantastic last year. They won the Metropolitan Premiership. And, you know, perhaps in hindsight, last season might have been the right season to close. Myself and my husband, who's here tonight, Damien, we were married just over 12 months ago. And probably this season hasn't been my best season. And over Christmas had some time off and for a bit of some family time, and I think it's been the right announcement to make. Was just before the Adelaide Cup. Announced my last Adelaide Cup, and Adelaide Cup Day is one of my special races, special race days here in South Australia, and we made the decision, myself and Dane Wilton, who's also my manager, to race out the UBET Festival of Racing. And I think last week winning a Group 3 was a bit of a justification of that decision. And I'm going to continue on riding through May, and I haven't actually got a last day as planned as yet. And I'm a little bit nervous about doing that because, you know, I sort of set myself up, and if I happen to ride a shocker of a race or something, it could be a little bit of an anticlimax at non-event. But yeah, it's been great to. I think it's given me the opportunity to be able to say to all the owners and trainers and who've supported me over the years of my career, it's been nice to be able to say thank you to them and have some great race days where people have. Like yourself, have been at the races, and when I've ridden winners for different owners, it's been great.
Well, we are glad that you decided to go again, especially with Racing.com coming to town, so we've got to see how amazing you do go. And tell you what, the journey, I've never seen a lady get more flowers than Claire's got on this going away tour. It's unbelievable when she leaves the races and someone's got to carry her bags out. The reason for tonight, though, and we're not going to talk about all of your successes, we've documented that a lot. We'll go back to behind the scenes, and we'll start probably with your apprenticeship, because when you are young, you're learning. We've heard about how different the times are as well. I'm sure you at that stage need to fall on some of the people that are winning these awards tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic recognition of the Stable Staff Awards, and it's really interesting to hear some of the stories that have been tonight. And I can commend all the finalists tonight, and also commend Godolphin for this initiative, and what a fantastic awards it's been. I don't come from a racing background either, and my first time I went to a racing stables and working alongside other track work riders and other jockeys, and you know, even the stable staff and the head lad and the trainers, and you just manage to pick up bits and pieces of knowledge from everyone who has spent a lifetime with horses. And you know, there's a saying in racing, you know, what you know would fill the book, what you don't know would fill the library. So it's really good to sort of get bits and pieces and put it together and put it towards. I think it's probably great to build a foundation and glean all the little bits of knowledge, and I think it sort of helps you in your career. And if I look back to some of the successes I've had, you know, it might have come back from something that someone told me, you know, years ago about a little technique with a horse or a bit of equipment I hadn't tried before.
What about the aspect of travelling as well in this industry? And it was something that we talked about before coming up here tonight, that so many of these people we see coming from different countries or being able to go from Australia and take their skills elsewhere and actually see the world doing what they enjoy doing.
Yeah, it's phenomenal for that reason. I think, you know, it's a trade which you can adapt to anywhere, and I've been fortunate enough for my journey to, I'm originally from Warrnambool, country Victoria, and moved to South Australia in year 2000. And the horses I've been able to go to different carnivals, and I've competed in nearly every state in Australia and ridden in pretty much every carnival, and a lot of the big races I've been lucky enough to be part of, like the Golden Slipper and Melbourne Cup and up to Queensland and different areas, and even ridden in England, and riding at Newmarket was probably one of my personal little goals or dreams as a child, and I felt like riding winner at Newmarket was perhaps like would have been for a cricket player who would have played at Lords. Like it felt like to be at Newmarket was a home of racing, and I think to be able to travel with this job and any stable staff member who's had a horse that's good enough to go to the carnivals and get to go on that journey, it's a pretty proud moment.
We'll focus on the team that you're in at the moment as well, and obviously we're speaking for everybody in the racing industry, but with Leon McDonald and Andrew Lewis, the team that you do have, you go out, the horse is ready when you come back in, you hop on the saddle, you go out, you come back, their box has been cleaned when you're gone, everything that's happened. Tell us about the entire system, and it is one that I think Leon and Andrew and yourself leading the jockeys with Raquel and Erin coming through, I think you really do ensure that these people are remembered and spoken about at all times, not just awards nights like tonight. Yeah,
I think, as an apprentice jockey, you do learn the hard way as well. You're doing backing out the boxes yourself and grooming the horses and doing all the hard work and the long hours. And that's probably something that I think really needs to be recognised, is that for someone to be reliable, to be there every day at that sort of time in the morning to feed your horses, because, as everyone knows, the animals, they can't have a day off, so you have to be there to feed and water them, look after them when they're ill. And many of our staff, don't very rarely have a sick day, and if you've got a cold, you just have a Panadol and tough it out and keep going. It's not like an office job where you might not go to work or have a sick day quite easily, and if you're not there, someone else has to pick up the slack, so it can be quite tough like that. So yeah, I do enjoy the work I do here with Leon McDonald and Andrew Lewis. I get to work in that team environment still, and I enjoy as a freelance rider now, as a senior, being able to come in and, the horses have been walked, they've been saddled for me, and I know that they looked after them with the hose down and cooled down properly, and, you can go and talk to Leon about different things that might have happened in the work, and just to see the staff there that all put in as much effort as you, and when you get a win, it's definitely a win for all of us.
And while Claire talks about that effort as well, for those that know, when you go through your apprenticeship, you become a senior, a lot of the time you can step back a little bit and you can rock up Tuesday fast work, Thursday fast work, Saturday fast work, and ride your Wednesdays and Saturdays, but you still do the 6 day a week and are always there first and the last one to leave as well, so it is a very big achievement. Now, the next part, we talked about all aspects of the racing through the night. The management side now, got to keep your life in track. Do we get to plug the husband?
Yeah, when we're talking about people behind the scenes, and it's all well and good to be when you ride a big winner, and everyone says, "Oh, that's great," but there's a lot of people behind the scenes, even for jockeys. You have your partner at home, and Damien Woolton is my partner as well as my manager, so you do feel like you lean on them a little bit. They're also your coaches as well. You might go through your race rides together, and it's something that I found a great asset to me personally, and a lot of jockeys have similar, and also you might have other people who help you behind the scenes as well.
Certainly, as you said, a lot of people are involved now. There'll be a few punters in the room, I reckon. I won't ask you what your winning chance is, but what's your best ride tomorrow that you think maybe we could have a little look at?
Well, a little bit of rain will probably help. Two of the horses I'm riding tomorrow for Leon McDonald, mail it in, stepping up to 2,000 metres. He has won at the track and distance before. And Royal Rumble, who, if he can produce his best, will be a real chance in the mile race tomorrow. Very good. Looking forward to both those. Claire, we've loved the journey. It still continues, as we said, but thank you for sharing your time tonight. Thank you, Adam.
Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage Managing Director of Godolphin, Vin Cox.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Adam. On behalf of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum and the entire team at Godolphin, I'd just like to say how pleased we are to be involved with the Godolphin Stud and Stable Awards here in Australia for 2018, but also around Australia, as Simon alluded to, all around the world, as Simon alluded to. These awards are conducted in the United States of America, the United Kingdom, Ireland and France. And it's a significant contribution of Sheikh Mohammed, and it's a wonderful thing to be a part of. If there's something I could just touch on, I think it's the nomination process. The fact that the people that are nominated is a wonderful thing, in that they're nominated by their peers and their colleagues, and it's recognition for the hard work that they do over a long period of time, over long hours, as a lot of people have said. And that in itself is a wonderful, wonderful effort. To the finalists and the winners and the award winners tonight, congratulations. You've got through to this level, and it's something you should be all very, very proud of. To that, I'd wish you all every success in your awards and obviously your careers ahead. Thank you very much.
Right, we'll get back into doing the awards now. There's a few more to go. The next one that we're going to look at is the Newcomer Award. Now, this is an award to an individual who has worked in the industry in any capacity for less than 3 years. The winner will display passion for pride and excellent contribution to the thoroughbred industry. The winner will stand out from the other newcomers and will be identified as a future and significant value member of this industry. And the two finalists tonight are Meg and Jaram.
I've worked for Catherine and Craig Durden for 1 year and 2 months now. I'm a track rider and stable hand and truck driver. I do pretty much everything here. So yeah, really good mix of everything. The average morning we'll start here around 6 o'clock and we'll feed up the horses. Then we'll put some horses on the walker to get ready to be ridden. Then we'll get some of the horses from the paddock and ride them, and then ride the horses from the walker, and that just keeps going till everyone's ridden. And then we'll do if any bandaging needs to be done, we'll do that. And then we'll clean up the place a bit and do some mucking out. And then if there's races on, we'll head to the races. None of my family are horsey. No one really likes horses. No one really knows where I got the horse gene from. They're not really sure why I'm into horses, but I just love the animals. So I went to school to learn about horses because no one else in my family could teach me. So, and from there, I was introduced to racing and went into the industry. Thoroughbreds and racehorses are special because they always keep you ready for something new. Like, they're very interesting creatures. I love this job because I just get to do everything. Like, Catherine is the best boss. Like, I get to do everything. I get to inject these guys, I get to ride the horses. I get to do everything. It's great. When I first found out that I was a finalist in these awards, it was just gobsmacking. Like, I didn't think I'd ever make it this far. And I'm only 20, so I thought to be 20 and be winning an award for what I do, like, it's pretty outstanding to be recognised for what you're doing, really. I think it's great. I think the awards are great because when you're working and you don't think you're being recognised, you really are. Like, these awards just sort of prove that you're not doing something for nothing. There is someone watching. It's been a really good experience working in this industry for a year. It's really eye-opening. Everyone thinks it's something completely different than what it really is. Like, it's all for the love of the horse, not for the love of the money. I see myself staying in racing for a while because it's just such a nice place to work. Like, everyone's really lovely and nice, and the horses are pretty good to work with. So yeah, I'll be around.
My name's Jaram Rind. I work at Armadale Stud. I've been working here nearly a year and a half. You know, I enjoy working with young horses and I guess educating them for a good life either in racing or out of racing. So yeah, really enjoy it. The job came about, we were trolling through Facebook and just saw a yearling prep job come up and decided to apply. My day-to-day jobs are working with yearlings, weanlings and stallions, so educating, lunging, feeding. The job I most enjoy is working with the young horses, just to give them a really good start in the industry. I think can help them go a long way in their racing career and after their racing career. Greatest strengths, I think, probably reading the animal, I think, and therefore hopefully educating them right, like I said, from the start, and helps them grow as a horse and hopefully a better career in the industry. What do I love about my job? Coming to work every day and working with horses. Just there's a certain freedom about it, I guess, and I just love working with animals. Being a Godolphin Stud Awards finalist, is really exciting. I think they're doing great things for the industry, and it's a pleasure to be a part of it.
To present the Newcomer Award, I'd like to welcome forward Shane Anderson.
Thanks very much, Adam. What a fantastic award and two outstanding nominees. And a key component of this recognition is that all winners of the Newcomers Awards from all different parts of the world will all be sent to Dubai, where they'll be able to spend some time with the Godolphin headquarters. So an amazing award, and the winner of the Newcomer Award is Meg Stanley from Catherine Durden Racing.
Meg, well done.
Thank you.
Come a bit of a surprise after only 3 years.
Yeah, less than.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us, I was scanning the room. I wanted to see where yourself and Jaron were, and I saw you at the back there. And
yeah.
I think we've seen in the video, and we're learning quite quickly, even when you're sitting there on the edge of your seat, you absolutely just love what you do, don't you?
Oh, I love it. It's awesome. It's the best job ever.
Where are we going to see you in the next 3 years with what you've already achieved so far?
Probably still with Kath. She's the most sensational boss ever. I don't really want to leave there anytime soon, but yeah.
The prize, where you get to go now and what you get to experience, has that sunk in yet?
No, not yet. That's a phenomenal experience. Like, it's going to be amazing.
What do your parents think? You mentioned in that tape, and I thought it was quite an interesting bit, because a lot of people in the racing industry have had it from day one. It's in their blood, and they sort of just go through the motion. But when people come from not that background, is it exciting to be able to go and tell them and have people that don't see it every day, or does it make it a bit easier each day?
Yeah, it's awesome. They're really supportive of me and what I do, and they may not understand it, but they still get excited and they'll still cheer for me every day, whether they understand or not.
Well, speaking of the cheer, it sounds like there's a few people here, so do you want to thank anybody before you head down?
Of course, I want to thank Godolphin for holding these awards. It's phenomenal to be recognised for what you do. I want to thank my parents for being there, because obviously they don't know what they're thinking. I'd love to thank Kath for nominating me. Like, that's amazing. That means a lot in itself. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Meg Stanley. Well done.
Thank you.
I think that award could have been summarised with no interview at all. I think we've seen the passion there and look forward to seeing where Meg is in the next few years, and hopefully we can continue seeing some amazing new people come through our industry. The next award that we are looking at now is the Thoroughbred Care and Welfare Award. Now, this is an award to an individual who's demonstrated a commitment to the care and welfare of thoroughbreds who are not actively racing and or create a greater awareness, passion and care for the thoroughbred horse in its second alternative career. Now, this can be from anything going, of course, to homing or into jumps as well. These may be, for example, a quiet achiever, paid or volunteer in retaining or rehoming of a thoroughbred animal. Our two finalists are Liz and Lee.
At Sale Yard Thoroughbreds, we take in off the tracks direct from trainers and also thoroughbreds straight from the sales. I was basically looking for a horse for myself and decided to go along to a Chica sales and got myself a nice off the track, and then realised there was heaps there that were, good for, other stuff than meat. So we decided to go back and get one and then get another one. A Chica horse sales is not like your typical English sales. You've got your meat buyers and then your public buyers. Horses obviously sold to the knackeries, to dealers and then to the public. So we decided to do this because the quality of horses was just amazing, and if we didn't take them on, they end up at the knackery, and I just felt so sorry for them. Like, you just see them standing there and they're just helpless, they're just stressed, and a lot of the times it's really hard to assess a horse at the sales and they get missed. And then when you get them home, just to see what lovely horses they are, it just breaks your heart if you see a horse that you've assessed at the sales and then it's end up at the knackery. It's just heartbreaking. I've always been involved in horses. My parents had horses, grown up with horses, don't even remember learning how to ride, and rode competitively up until early 20s, and then I took on retail management and training role for 10 years and then had kids and decided I'd like to get back into horses. We're all self-funded here, you know, everything from purchasing the horse from the sales, feeding, farrier, you know, everything is all on us. So, you know, some weeks it's a bit tight and a bit tough, and then other weeks, you know, you move a few that sort of helps things out. But yeah, it's all pretty much on us. To be nominated for this award was just a massive shock. I just couldn't believe that someone had thought, yeah, that I was worthy of it, and it's really great to be recognised. Seeing a horse, you know, transform from start to the finish, you feel proud that you've, you know, been able to give that horse that chance and, you know, get it through all those stages and then see it out. And then, you know, to hear the feedback from the owners that, you know, they shouldn't have been there and that, you know, they've got a really great quality of life is just, yeah, just makes you so happy.
I've been here at Darrenweir Racing it'll be 12 years this year. I've done everything except ride. So I go to the races, I strap, I drive the truck, I do the feeds, and I rehome all the retired racehorses here. With the retired horses, I of course go to the shows and I'd just get asked if we had anything retired and if anything was available, and it just went from there. So just ended up being mine. I've been involved with horses since the day I was born. I come from a showing background, pony club, bit of everything. And then, when I moved to Ballarat, I, you know, just searched around for something and came here. When they're retired as a racehorse, Darren will just let me know that, you know, the horse is retired. They come either out of the yard or a stable down there, and there's a paddock set aside that he built specially for these horses at the back of the property. These horses are brought up here and they're fed just the same as the racehorses are. They're rugged over winter, they're everything the same as the racehorses. I sort of go through the process of figuring out what sort of discipline I think that they'll suit off the track, and then I'll, you know, either take photos of them, videos, and then it's either word of mouth or online or anything like that, and I'll advertise them and it goes from there. These Godolphin awards are a great incentive for everybody that works in the studs and stables for Racing Australia. And I feel very honoured and privileged that I've been a finalist for the last 4 years. I rehome these horses for the horse, so to get them a life off the track. So they've had a life on the track, they're not suitable for on the track, so I try and make sure that they've got a life off the track.
To present this award, I'd like to welcome Caroline Searcy.
This is an award that's very close to my heart. I think it's one of the things that in the racing industry, it's really being addressed. The rehoming of thoroughbreds, we know how much goes into their work on the track and breeding them, the strappers that look after them daily, that get up at the crack of dawn and they love their horses. And I think most people that have been close to horses know how important it is to look after them for their entire life. So the work that you know, is being done in this field is fantastic. So to the two finalists, congratulations, you know, Lee and Liz. The work that you are doing is just so important, and the more people hear about it, I think the more owners, the more breeders, the more people in the industry will actually take the time to stop and think, what do we do with these horses when they've finished racing, or if they don't even race at all. So without further ado, let me announce the winner of the Thoroughbred Care and welfare category for the Godolphin Stud and Stable Staff Awards. And the winner, Lee Purchase from Darren Weir Racing. Finally, Lee, you get it. Congratulations, Liz. Make sure you re-nominate because that was a beautiful story as well. But Lee, congratulations to you. That is fantastic to get there in the end, because it's a very competitive world in the rehoming world now, because so many people care so much for these horses. But Lee, you go above and beyond, so congratulations. Not at all. Thank you.
Lee, like Scott a little bit earlier, 3 times you've been the finalist and 4th time now for the win.
Yes.
Pretty nice, isn't it?
Yes, it's great. And yeah, as I said in my clip, you know, these awards are a great incentive for everybody in the studs and the stables, and yeah, I just do my bit for the horse when they have retired.
It is a vital part of the industry that we probably don't promote enough or hear about enough. It's something that I know because I love buying slow racehorses, but it's been my specialty. I definitely haven't had one of the Darren Weir team, but tell us about the way you do go about it. And as you said, it is for your love for the animal, but it must be great to have someone like Darren supporting what you do as well and allowing them to come out the back and take your time.
Yeah, well, you know, of course, Darren's a big supporter. Like, you know, he has set that big paddock aside for these horses. You know, and, you know, I have to thank the owners as well. Like, you know, they trust these horses to me to find them their best possible life away from racing. So, yeah, and, you know, a few of them do like to follow them after they've raced. Like, you know, we've got some big owners there that, you know, still like to hear how they're going and things like that. So, you know, it's great.
How satisfying is it when Darren gives you a horse and you take your time, you place it, and then you see it achieving its best in its new environment?
Oh, I follow a lot of them, especially the show horses and the eventers. Like, you know, the eventers are the ones that, you know, they have to be, you know, as sound and everything as a racehorse is. And, yeah, like, it's, you know, great seeing some of these eventers out there, and, you know, showing's my passion, and, you know, I especially love seeing the pretty ones out there. So.
Well, as we said, you've been very consistent. You deserve this award. Well done, and hopefully I can get a fast one with Darren Weir that we don't need to be finding a home sometime soon. Congratulations, well done.
No worries. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
The next award that we're going to take a look at now is the Dedication to Breeding Award. Now, this is an award to an individual staff member who has shown talent in thoroughbred breeding, horsemanship, consistency and reliability in a stud role. They must have had this for over 5 years in the breeding industry and must have been pivotal in his or her employer's success. The 2 finalists that we're going to look at now is Angus and Patrick.
My name's Angus McAlpine. I work at Eureka Stud. I have done my whole life. It has been a family farm. I love it. I enjoy it. You know, I love horses. I love working on the farm. I've worked all around the world with horses and come back to the farm now after a few years working around the world, and this is where I belong and this is where I want to stay.
Look, Angus is very important. I mean, you know, I'm not getting any younger, and I think probably to our advantages, we've got sons, 4th generation of this industry we're in, and to have a 4th generation coming along is quite special for probably Australia. I think it's not only Queensland.
I don't really have a set day-to-day job at Eureka. Changes every day, and depending on what the season is, if it's weaning season, breeding season, yearling season, you know, I just do everything and anything I can do. Just try to help out, from mucking out boxes to handling yearlings or weanlings, just helping in the office. So whatever needs to be done, that's what I do.
Accelerate 350, last time, over. Everyone down on your call, 350,000 riser. Thank you very much, Henry Field.
Looking after the horse, make sure they're comfortable, and then parading them to the best of their ability. So, you know, to potential buyers, and then hopefully, you know, telling the potential buyers about the mare or the yearling, whatever is here, you know, and just trying to sell it to its best ability.
You know, to have your own son come home and want to take over, and well, he already takes over anyway, so I'm only the second in charge again. And with the luck that we're having in the minute with Spirit of Boom, I think it's fantastic for the whole industry.
I did work for Coolmore and Windsor Park and the National Stud in England, and that was fun and great, but it's not the same as having a family farm, which is every little work you do every day is for the family, and it's just a bit more passionate and just every day. You're happy to get up early in the morning and work till late at night just because everything you're doing is for the family, and it's just fantastic.
Look, Angus is a leader, a dominating leader, if we want to call it that. His staff respect him. Some days they probably hate him. He drives them hard. If you come to work at Eureka, you're not coming there for a picnic, you're coming there to work, and we get on with the job.
Horsemanship, that's what I love doing. I love working with the horses. I love anything to do with horses, you know. It might be foaling, it could be handling yearlings, handling weanlings. Just love working with the horses, you know. I trim mares' feet, you know, I love trimming horses' feet. I do all the yearlings' feet and weanlings' feet at home, and I'm very passionate about that. I like to, you know, conformation of a horse is very big, and I pride myself on trying to get all our horses' yearlings conformation right before a yearling sale. My girlfriend Jordan and my family and some of our clients have all nominated me for this award, and it's just very humbling, and I'm just grateful they did it, and I've got this far.
I got my start in the horse racing industry. My father, Peter, had a horse stud in South Australia on the west coast, and we stood a couple of stallions there, and I used to help my father out with handling the horses, and that's how I got my start. I love my horses. I live for them, really. I love the racing side of it, and watching the young horses grow up into their own personalities and seeing them make it to the racetrack. It's a good feeling.
I guess you look at it, the honour roll as such that of graduates that Paddy's had come through the system here has been, it's a pretty distinguished list of horses, you know. We've had, you know, Formality, Catchy, Tulip.
A couple of the horses that I had things to do with, one was Vancouver. One morning I was driving up doing the feed run, I could see this colt in the catching pen. He'd jumped the fence. So I drove up there, and it would end up being Medaglia Skates, which ended up turning out to be Vancouver, the Golden Slipper winner. Winks was also born here on the farm, and I helped raise her. With fillies, they've all got a bit of, it's good to see them have a bit of attitude, and she definitely had attitude. She took us a couple of people to go in there and catch her. She just wanted to be left alone. She wasn't the friendliest, but she was all class.
Paddy's been instrumental, I guess, in making it easier for all of us management to do our jobs. His attention to detail with the foals, especially young foals, is excellent. His interaction with the staff, the lads who run the foaling units, down to the veterinarians, to management, everybody, you know, even to Tom Magner is brilliant.
We wean about 90 to 100 mares, and then I take over looking after them as weanlings. So we just give them a lot of handling, picking their legs up, get them used to being touched, and especially for the farrier, when he gets under the horses, it's always good for him to be quiet, standing there. Working around young horses, you have to be calm. They can feel it too.
Aside from his kids, his horses are also his children as well, if you will. He's absolutely excellent at what he does, and I'd be lost without him.
And to present the Dedication to Breeding Award, I'd like to welcome Chris Watson and Basil Nolan.
I'm going to hurry up, Basil, do you? It's heavy. A fantastic award, and great to be here sharing this award with Basil. The winner of the Godolphin Stud and Stable Dedication to Breeding Award is
Patrick Sheehan.
Coolmore Stud.
Patrick, well done on the award. You must be the proudest dad going around with the amount of kids you've had.
Yeah, we've had a few good horses in the past few years, so it's been really good.
You get the fun aspect, don't you, where we see the horses when they get to their racing career, they've been ironed out, they've got their manners, they're straightforward. You get all the quirky personalities and, as you said, get to learn to love them that way.
Yeah, definitely, especially the horses like Catchy and Winks, they're like fillies with plenty of attitude, so yeah.
It's always an interesting and common theme, isn't it, that the good ones normally have a few behavioural issues?
Oh, definitely. They test your patience, but that's what you're there for. You love the horses. So.
What about the comments? I was having a look here. Peter O'Brien describes you as the most talented and diligent man he's ever worked with. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot to me. Like Peter put me in the deep end at Coolmore, and I wouldn't be here today if he didn't put me in the foaling unit. So yeah.
You've had a big journey, and plenty of people have been involved. Would you like to thank some people that are here tonight?
Yeah, I would like to thank Tom and Sophie, Coolmore, the staff there, my mum and dad, my family, also Peter and Pauline Liston. They did a lot for me, and Jim Carey's been very good to me, and also Peter and Pauline Liston and Peter O'Brien again. Yeah, cheers. Thanks. Sorry.
Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, hands together for Patrick Sheen. It's a bit worried that someone walked into the door there, but everyone was pretty good and not laughed, so I'm impressed with that. We're going to take a quick break. Dessert's going to be coming out. Just a quick reminder, well, for those that are the finalists, can we please have every finalist go across just to the board here? There's going to be a photo for everyone there. So we'll do that photo, dessert will come out, and then when we come back, we'll have the presentation of the Thoroughbred Excellence Award. Have people tuning in live as well to the coverage, so I'm sure they'll look forward to seeing all of the pictures from tonight, and we hope you have enjoyed yourself so far. Well, it is that time of the night now to get to the Thoroughbred Excellence Award, and it is an amazing award. Everybody that have been here in this final tonight have deserved it, and all the other nominations as well. As we said, over 300 nominations around Australia, so many more people that have been acknowledged for their work, and there'll be so many more again next year. But I'd like to welcome forward now Jenny Watson and also Jeremy Rogers to come forward and announce the award.
Throwing it away.
It gives me great pleasure on behalf of Godolphin, Racing Australia and Thoroughbred Breeders Australia to present the award for the Overall Excellence Award. And I won't do a Warren Beatty, and I'll say the correct one. And the winner is Joe Agresta.
Congratulations. So I think we're going to take a quick look at your video again regarding your win. No, we're going to skip that bit, so we'll go to the next bit then. Now, we'll just keep going as we go. The award, we talked to you a little bit earlier. How do you feel now to take it outright?
Oh, I'm overwhelmed. I can't believe it. Actually, I started eating something and I didn't even know what was going on.
Did you have the, what did you start with? Did you go to the crunchy, the fruit, or did you go straight to the tart?
No, I went straight to the tart.
Smart man, smart man. Now, as we said, the Dedication to Racing Award, we heard your story a little bit earlier. It's been an amazing journey. What does the award mean to you? Because we know you do this because of your love and your passion.
Yeah, look, it means everything to me, and as I said before, this is not about me. This is about all the track riders and staff, stable staff, everybody that works in the industry all over Australia. I'd just like to share this with everybody. I'd like to thank Godolphin from the bottom of my heart. I honestly mean it. Has taken someone from overseas to recognise people in Australia, and I think other people should recognise what they're doing and just kind of help out a little bit. The other thing I'd like to do, I'd like to thank Troy Corstens for nominating me, Malua Racing. I'd like to thank Leon Corstens, who helped me along the way when we were at Barts, and Reggie Fleming was the same. And honestly, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for someone who's been with me since I was a teenager, as my wife. Since I started with horses, she's not once did she say, you can't go here or can't go overseas or can't get up and go to the track or whatever in 45 years. So, Lorraine, this is for you. And yeah, look, it's to me it's all about the industry and the horses and the people that are behind it. And yeah, I really can't believe it. I'm shocked.
Your wife's probably pretty happy with all of the changes that we talked about a little bit earlier, the helmets now, the vests, and a bit of occupational health and safety to ensure that you are safe out there. Has it surprised you that not only the nomination but the effect that you've had on people? Because you go to work every day, you do it because of love, you don't think of how you're affecting other people, but to now realise how many lives you're touching, how many people appreciate what you're doing, is that sunk in yet?
Well, not really. I mean, I'm just a normal person, and I just love what I do, and people say, oh, good on you, Joe, for doing this and doing that, and I just love helping, and I love helping the kids, the apprentice jockeys, and they're under a lot of pressure, and a lot of people go crook at them all the time, you know, how they ride in races, and I always pull them aside and say, oh, don't worry about that. I said, oh, you did a good job, or you couldn't have done anything else, and just try to encourage them and just help them along the way. And I just think that I owe something back to the industry, and just a little bit that I can do for the industry is, yeah, anything I can do is great.
Well, I think what we've learnt tonight, not only with all the finalists but the nominations and yourself, I think we owe you guys a little bit as well for the amount of work you've done. Congratulations on the award and well done.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude the night tonight, the Godolphin Stud and Stable Staff Awards for 2018. A big thank you to everybody that did attend. Our finalists, we will ask, our award winners, sorry, we will ask that you go across there for the picture as well. Now, the music will continue. The bar will stay open to, I think it's about 11:15 as well. Yep, so sit back and do enjoy your drinks. As you heard a little bit earlier, great racing here at Morphettville tomorrow. So if you are able to come out, we look forward to seeing you. And again, thank you for your time.